Okay, so today we are going to be understanding multiplying and dividing decimals. Let's get started. Let's say we have number 4.23 multiplied by 1.85. Okay, so what we do is we're starting off with this 5 here and we're multiplying it by this 3. So that would be 15 because we have to carry 1 forward and make it 5. So there's our 15. Okay, then we move on to 5 and the 2, which is 10, plus this one here is 11. We move on to 4, so 5 times 4 is 20, plus our 1 makes it 21. Then I normally cross off that 5 and add a 0 here. We need to do that because we have decimal places. Okay, now what we do is we start with our 8 and multiply it by 3. In this case it's 24. So we go 2 and then 4. Make sure you keep your numbers under the decimal places. They must remain in the correct spot. Now we go 8 multiplied by 2, which is 16, plus our 2 here, which is 18. Then we go 8 by 4 is 32, plus our 1 is 33. Okay, let's change colours. So again, we cross this off, but this time we add 2 zeros, and that's because there are 2 decimal places. 2 places. Okay. So now what we have to do is go 1 multiplied by 3 is 3, 1 multiplied by 2 is 2, and 1 multiplied by 4 is 4. Okay, so let's add that up. 5 plus 0 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 4 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 8 is 9 plus 3 is 12, and 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8, and we have 3 plus 4 is 7. Now let's have a look back up here. Here we have our 2 numbers, and here's our decimal place. You can clearly see that there are 4 numbers, so there's this one, this one, this one and this one. They are all 4 of them, 4 numbers to the right of the decimal place. Okay, so it's to the right. We need to then make provisions for this down the bottom. So let's say we're starting here, this is our decimal point, and we need to move it to the left 4 places because it says it up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. So our number is actually 7.8255. And that is the answer when we're multiplying these 2 numbers together. Okay, so now we're going to move on to dividing decimals. So let's start with a problem of 26 divided by 2.5. Okay. So how we would write this would be 2.5 dividing 26. But we need to get rid of this decimal point. To do that, we could move it here 1 spot. So that would make it 25. But in order to do that, we also needed to add another decimal place here. So we'd have to add a 0 to here, and we have our imaginary decimal point there. So we rewrite this as 25 divided by 260. Okay, so let's get started. We can see how many 25s can go into 2, which is 0. So then we need to move on to 26. So 25 goes into 26 once. Now, 1 times 25 is 25. Whoop. So we add that down there. We take 25 from 26, which equals 1. We then need to bring down this 0 to here, making it 10. Okay, so then now we move on. 25 goes into 10 0 times. So we add a 0 here. We also need to add a 0 back up here. Okay, so 10 plus 0 is 10. Now because we can't add in 25 to 10, we need to add another 0 here. And we need to bring this down, we make it 100. Now 25 can go into 100, 4 times. So it's 4. Now, what we have to do here is, because we move the decimal point from 2.5 to 25, so we moved it 1 decimal place. So you can see that this went this way. We have to basically make consideration back up at the top here. This answer here, we have to put back the decimal point. So here the decimal point starts here, and we basically have to go, let's move it here. So this answer here of 10.4 is the answer to this problem, 26 divided by 2.5. Okay, so let's look at some practices. Let's start off with our multiplication. So we will have 7.184 multiplied by 2.561. So let's work out that. Go ahead and work that one out. Then what I'd like you to do would be a division, which, let's say it'll be 28 divided by 1.5. Work out that answer. See you back in class.